Grab your favorite mug and fill it up with your favorite blend because we're getting ready to sit down and talk about Southwest Florida real estate. Cottrell Title and Escrow presents The Closing Experience, real estate talk over a cup of coffee. What are my closing fees going to be? Should I rent or should I finally purchase? Why do I have to send all of these documents to get a mortgage? The real estate process doesn't have to be frustrating. Let our experts at Cottrell Title and Escrow help make buying or selling real estate a dream. Here to answer all of your questions, our host, managing partner of Cottrell Title and Escrow, James Schlimmer.
Welcome to another episode of The Closing Experience, real estate talk over a cup of coffee. I'm your host, James Schlimmer with Cottrell Title and Escrow. This week has been just amazing. The last couple days, we have been live from WFG's Spark Convention, where we are talking all things real estate industry, the future. I truly believe WFG is as innovative gets in this space. But with that, some of the things that we want to be able to offer our real estate agent clients is the ability to be able to consume content when they want to. That's the whole idea of the podcast, of the Closing Experience, real estate talk over a cup of coffee. And I was able to pin down a gentleman I heard speak today at the conference. I'm going to introduce him here in a second, but this topic, we get more questions on the show here from real estate agents saying, hey, how should we be marketing ourselves via social media? Does Facebook Live work? Should I be on LinkedIn? What about Snapchat? I mean, it's confusing because it's changing at rapid fire pace. And what I wanted to be able to do is, I can't give you my advice because we're still trying to figure out ourselves, but there are experts throughout the country, and that's one of the things that we want to be able to offer on the Closing Experience is sitting down with some of the top professionals in the industry and to be able to help our member real estate agents out. So with that, I want to introduce Jeff Lobb, who's the founder and CEO of Spark Tank Media. Jeff is all things real estate. And what I love about this is being able to sit down with somebody who understands our industry. And if you are a real estate agent, listen close for the next 20 minutes or so. Jeff is a sales marketing specialist with the perspective of the realtor. Top producing agent. He's run brokerages. He's developed training. He's coached. He's done just about everything there is in the industry. But what I'm more impressed about is he's presented to Coldwell Banker throughout the country, RE/MAX. He was just recently at Gary Vaynerchuk's Agent 2021 conference and a speaker there. I don't think there's anybody in the country, Jeff, who has your resume to be able to talk about this subject. So thank you so much for sitting down on the Closing Experience.
Thanks, my pleasure. It's been a long day, and I'm excited to kind of maybe wrap this whole thing up with a really good session with you guys. That's perfect.
Make sure you talk into the microphone,
right,
so we can hear you. But we're going to have a good time. I want to be able to riff back and forth with you here because social media, and you're a real estate agent. And Southwest Florida, there's over 10,000 real estate agents. Every single one is really trying to figure out how to differentiate themselves.
That's right.
What do you think is the biggest mistake you see real estate agents do regarding social media?
The biggest mistake is they don't listen on social media. They're trying to make a lot of content, but they're putting out a lot of noise. They're putting out a lot of just stuff that's fluffy, not original content. And when I say they're not listening, we love to talk for a living. That's what we do. But the amount of intel and the conversations that take place from our past clients, from our current clients, they're telling you all of the things they're doing that revolve around a life event.
Sure.
And which is what creates a real estate transaction is a life event. And yet the news feed, blame it on the algorithm, blame it on whatever you want to call it, the news feed is so busy and so noisy that we just try and push more stuff instead of listening better. And there's some really simple ways to listen better.
That's interesting. So you're saying, how do you listen better on social media? That to me, that seems like an oxymoron, right?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But there's no perfect world. It wasn't built for this stuff. But to me, let's face it, real estate, again, is built on that life event, and all people on Facebook and social talk about is life events. So if you could just identify those, imagine, think about it. You sold a home 3-4 years ago. When was the real last time you spoke to them? Really had a conversation? Answer, most people, never.
Sure.
Or once if you run into them in the store.
Close the deal, move on.
Move on. Yeah, I'll send you some postcards. I'll put you in my drip campaign. I'll send you digital junk mail for the next 7 years of your life.
Yep.
But expect you to call me back. Yet on social, that same customer is talking about their child. Their oldest kid just graduated and there's no more kids left in the house. Time to downsize. Hey, we might not need this big of a house. Maybe we should go to another area and buy another smaller home or invest in another property. They're talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
You just don't know it because you're not paying attention to them. So, strategic lists.
You know what? I feel like a light bulb just went off in my head because when you say something like, hey, the biggest mistake agents are doing is they're not listening when it comes to social media.
Right.
I'm thinking, all right, well, I asked the question, how do you do that? What you're saying is they're giving all the ammunition you need to be able to get that next deal or that referral. It's all there in the universe. Are you going to be able to be the one that scrapes it and gets that info out is what you're saying?
Yeah, and you don't even have to scrape it. It's much easily done than scraping. And it's probably more valuable information than any CRM could ever give you because it's your real customers talking. And imagine this. When you send out CRM stuff and digital junk mail, and I use that kind of loosely, I'm sure you have good content, but most of it's junk mail.
Sure.
It's disregarded. It's not human. There's nothing to it. Yeah, it's memorable. I see you. Sometimes you annoy me with it. But at the end of the day you're still not talking to me, and yet you want my referral business. People are talking. So imagine, think about the emotions, first of all. Social media is built on an emotional platform, which let's just get that straight. These people think it's this new thing. It's an emotional marketing platform. When people, and I just did an interview on this with a gentleman that studies this, when people get a like or a comment, it releases the dopamine drug, right?
Sure.
I see you know this, right?
Yep.
So that like, that comment, that instant gratification. Well, think about this, is if I was able to see my past clients on a weekly basis in my list, and I'll tell you, just define it, but they're in a list of mine, and I pay attention to my last 30, 40, 50 clients that sold homes, and they're talking about their child, their home, their boat, or whatever they're doing, and I'm liking and commenting in their daily lives, they would pretty much even know if they were paying attention to me that closely where I am sitting right now, because that's on social media. So if I run into them 6 months from now, I'll know where they were, what they did on the weekend, what they're eating, what they went out for dinner, because I'm paying attention to them and I'm listening. That doesn't stop me from picking up the phone, but think about this. If you don't do that, what is your CRM doing for you? What is that telling you? Nothing. A CRM just sends out stuff. Tells you nothing.
Jeff, I'm blown away right now because the idea of this show is for, I would say, like real estate geeks. Just to be able to spitfire back and forth about the industry.
Yep.
I hope real estate agents are listening to that because I know I am. As far as operating a title company in Southwest Florida, am I really listening or am I always thinking about, all right, here's the next thing I got to put out?
Well, let me ask you, who are your clients? Real estate agents?
No, they're buyers and sellers.
Buyers and sellers.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you should have a list of your buyers. Now, the ones you're connected to, not all of them. No,
sure.
It's not a perfect world. Facebook didn't build this for us. It was built to, just share stuff. However, the stuff is magical for what we do. So if you created a list in your friends category and you called it my past clients, or my current clients, and it just says, who do you want to put in that list? I put in Mary, John, Bob, Sally, whatever it is. Sure. I make a list here's the way I look at it. I make a list for anybody in my life that matters. Clients, my colleagues, my past clients, my tech geeks that run around the country like myself, because I want to stay in touch with them too. And I don't want to miss what they say. When they say it, if it's in the noise and in the thread, I will never see it. But the list filters them. It takes all that stuff. So now when I have my cup of coffee in the morning, I could spend an hour going through the drama of other people's stuff.
Sure.
Or I could spend 10 minutes on my mobile device, which is over there right now, literally going through my lists, liking, commenting. Oh, there's John. Oh, Mary, she's going on vacation. Or, oh, John ended up in the hospital. Holy crap, I didn't know that. I should either call him and see if they need help. These are things that they're talking about, and that's listening. That's what keeps you. So when I run into John or Mary 6 months from now at the Target or at the store, I know what they've been up to. They could tell me what I've been up to if they're following back and forth.
Sure.
So it's a better human connection than anything we've ever had.
Are you suggesting as well as listening, but how about engaging on there? So constantly liking.
Oh, yeah, liking, sharing.
A comment here and there.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game, is that engagement and that. And keep in mind, when they see you like and comment in their world, wow, he's paying attention. Like he's actually, this is our real estate agent. That's great. He cares. And that doesn't say if you see something that goes on beyond the normal life happenings, you shouldn't pick up the phone or see if they need a hand with something. Or, hey, if you need a hand truck, I see you're trying to move that furniture out. It's online. You need a hand. I can get you a guy, maybe a handyman to come over. Those things trigger those things. If you just try and follow the newsfeed and the algorithms, you never see anything.
Well, interesting that you bring up the actual algorithm because, Facebook announced that they want to change them. So business pages, and they don't want that content showing up there. And you being an expert, is there new tips and tricks that, call it mid-2018 where we are now, that agents should try to implement to, hey, make sure their video gets seen, or make sure how do they stand out from if they're going to get blocked, I guess?
Well, the big battle I talk about a lot is, and I know the answer to 99% of the people I'll ask, and I'll ask it right here to this audience. They could just nod their heads. We won't see it. If I ask them this question, are you getting more engagement, more activity, more communication on your personal page or your business page? 99.9% of the time, it's the personal page.
Sure.
Right. Because they got a business page. They didn't know what to do with it. They heard some ideas. They post business stuff. My new listing, my new this. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but no one really gives a crap about your new listing on your page. You might have a few people engaged, but they don't need you for that. They got Zillow and Truly and Realtor.com and your website to find homes. The problem is that's why the page gets no engagement, because no one really cares about that. Now, if you have a page for some reason that's magically getting engagement for that reason,
sure,
keep doing it. Don't ever stop. But I like to teach people, look, the business page now is it's a revenue stream for Facebook. Facebook wants revenue. They deserve to have revenue. They got to make money.
Yeah.
Nothing's free.
Created a great product.
So I try and teach agents, listen, if you're going to have a page, do something with it. Either you're going to create content that's going to be specific to a niche of your customer audience, or use it to prospect. And I can teach them how to use it to prospect. To me, the prospecting tool gives me more value than anything else that I've ever had before. And I'll share that with you.
I can't wait to hear it.
Agents hate prospecting, right? I ran offices. No one wants to prospect. And I door knocked for a living back in 1988 with my gold jacket on, and I did it proudly, right?
I think the listeners, they can't see you, but maybe on the Facebook Live, Jeff has got the greatest set of sneakers or shoes.
Oh, shoes.
They're absolutely amazing. They're gold.
I don't think you can see them. My gold kicks.
He's got gold kicks on, folks, and they're glorious.
They're my gold Cole Haans, man. Loving Cole Haan.
Hey, I love the style.
Gotta share a little style sometimes, So here's what I came up with. Before Facebook was born, I did this through my own website. Okay, because I had to find easier ways to prospect. Let's face it, I did really well in my career, but I didn't love prospecting like a typical agent. So I learned if I could go door to door to door and talk to one at a time, what if I could talk to one person that knew a hell of a lot more people than I did? Like, for example, the local businesses in my community. I used to look at it this way. If I farmed an area of a townhouse development, some new subdivisions, a square mile of other properties, who in those areas serve the customers that I want? Where do they go for breakfast, coffee, lunch, dinner, shopping, karate, the dance studio? Where do they go? So I said, why don't we prospect them? They know a lot of people. So I turned it pre-Facebook. I took my little blog website, community page, and what I did is I approached the typical business owner. Here is the script I use. I use it any day. If you said, Jeff, start selling real estate today in Florida, and I know nobody, I could do this today. I'd walk into a pizzeria, right? The local people, wherever my customers are going, bagel shop. Hey, my name is Jeff Lobb. I'm with XYZ Real Estate Company. I put together a Facebook page that's called The Best of Orlando. It's where we are now, right, Orlando?
Correct. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, The Best of Orlando. And I want to highlight, I sell a lot of homes in the area. I want to highlight some of the best stores and companies in this area for my real estate clients to come to. They're always asking me, where should I go? What should I do? So I'm building a page of The Best of Orlando. I think you're one of the best pizzerias, the best restaurants. Would you mind if I actually helped promote your company to my clients on my page? I'll take pictures, take photos. We'll have a conversation. We'll do some video. I just want to promote you to my clients. Are you okay with that?
God, oh my goodness. This is fantastic.
Now think about that. What am I really doing? That's called prospecting.
Yeah.
That's prospecting. That is the easiest script. And it's truthfully given value. I genuinely would love to help the person because guess what? They know 300 people. They know 1,000 people that walk through their door. They know 300 people that probably work around this area. And I just want to build relationships because I don't know the guy or gal or woman or team, whoever's running it. I don't know them. But I get to know them, and I want to help them first. Go back to Gary V's jab, 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 right hook.
Yep.
My jab. And I'll jab again, and I'll go back and have lunch and take some pictures of the dessert and share that on Instagram and post. But here's the beauty of where this goes. If you do it right, and you make the post, right? I make the post. The guy thinks this is great. I appreciate you doing this. Listen, when I get done with this post, I want you to share it to your page. And I want you to tag all your friends and family and push it out to them, because for them, it's almost like a testimonial.
Sure.
Like Jeff Lobb put me on the Best of Orlando page or whatever I'm making up, and it becomes a bit of a piece of marketing for them. And I want to create that relationship, because why not help them? All of my customers are walking through their door anyway. So, and while I'm there, I might meet 2 or 3 people. I might find people. If I have a branded shirt on, they might talk to me about real estate. So that brings me into the community, but it's not just a community page. People get so caught up in it, it's the easy way out. They'll go, oh, I got a community page. I post stuff about different things going on in the community. And I say, no, that's bull. It's never about the post. It's about the people in the post. Don't post about the new store that opened. Did you go meet the owner of the new store? That's the prospecting part. That's the value.
Sure.
Go say, hey, I would love to help promote your business. I think you do a great job. I love your coffee. I love your bagels. Can I promote you guys to my audience of real estate clients and help you guys grow? Are you okay with that?
We are sitting here on the Closing Experience, real estate talk over a cup of coffee, and one of the things that I'm honored to be able to do, because I hate cliches. I don't like listening to shows when they talk about, hey, you just got to work harder, and there's really no substantive detail. You have knocked out of the park like 3 in 10 minutes that real estate agents could immediately start applying what you're saying. I'm sitting here with Jeff Lobb, founder and CEO of Spark Tank Media. Both he and I are at Spark's conference in Orlando. WFG Spark is a title insurance conference.
Yep.
Some of the best minds in the industry. And Jeff is, without a doubt, if you've been listening for the last 10, 15 minutes, an expert in this field when it comes to social media marketing for real estate agents. Jeff, I want you to talk a little bit about Spark Tank Media, what you do.
Yeah.
You have given 3 amazing tips that right now I think you need to plug your company, because people need to pay you for this, obviously. So how do they get in touch with you?
I like to give value first, like anything else. That's why I love doing this kind of stuff, because you know what? It's not even just about the values. They have to be able to execute.
Sure.
Which is why we turned into more of a coaching company, a training company. We realize that we can have these ideas, but the actual execution lacks. And it's not because they don't know how to do it. It's they just don't have the accountability to do it. Then they start and they go, hey, where's Jeff again? I need him to help me. So we have to kind of provide that level of service. Spark Tank Media was created as a media company for several reasons. I wanted to have multiple channels to help different groups of people. We work in the mortgage, title, and real estate space.
Okay.
Real estate's my baby. However, they all tie together because the marketing overlaps. B, to me, it's never about technology. It's about how do I use the damn technology, because at the end of the day, you have an iPad, I have an iPad.
Yep.
But if I do a really killer presentation and show you how to do stuff and yours stays in your bag, my iPad's better than your iPad because I know how to use it, right? So you have a Facebook page and so do I. But I'm going to use my page to prospect and win listings or opportunities to prospect, and you have a Facebook page that does nothing. So we have the same stuff. It's how do I use it? So that's where I always pride myself on, because I spent the time as an agent, as a broker owner, as a franchisee. I was the vice president of a franchise brand with 800 offices at one point before I jumped and did my own thing. I just realized that I wanted to just help people who wanted to help and said, hey, I want to grow myself and grow my business. I'm looking for someone to partner. I don't want to fight people to grow. There's some people that will never change, never grow, never scale, and you can't fight them. They're never going to change. I want to work with the ones that do. So there's a big opportunity out there. So we take on coaching clients more so to help them, not just social media. Like everyone has a different set of problems. Sure.
Is
it recruiting? Is it, hey, my brand needs help. I don't even know what I want it to be bigger and better. I got agents that don't know what to do to get listings. I need to farm better. How do I hold open houses better? And a lot of it just comes down to either they don't know or they're lazy and they need a kind of a kick. So we kind of address all of those issues. So we do it between training, coaching, and a few things that we have product-wise in-house.
And clearly you're doing it all across the country, right?
All across the country, yeah. I speak all over the place. I mean, speaking is a big thing for me because it
Yep.
gives me the platform to share. I speak U.S., Canada. I spent this past year, last year over in Vietnam to speak to their first real estate association in Vietnam from our NAR group sent us over.
Yep.
It was fantastic, translator and everything. They wanted to learn how to market beyond their country. How do they use this platform? So everything I try and do ties to how do I turn it into money? How do I make money with it? Not just how do I run a page? You could have a page that's great, but if you can't make money with it or turn it into a value prop, it's useless.
We did an interview with WFG's CEO, Pat Stone, and he brought up a point very similar. hey, we're trying to be the most efficient company. We're trying to come up with ways, ultimately, because we want to be more profitable. We want to make money. And when it comes to offering real estate agents different ways to do things and to be innovative and to differentiate themselves, ultimately, it's not a bad thing to say, hey, you're doing it to try to make more money.
No. And full disclosure, WFG is a client of mine. Like, we've been working together for years together, helping them kind of with this strategy, but more in the title space. We want to help title agents unbox themselves and realize they need to get to, audiences like the real estate agents and get to the core of where the business starts. So we help them and teach them how to do presentations on this stuff so they can get in front of agents and talk and bring value. So that's kind of why we work together very well. They have I love their aggressive approach. This type of event is their mentality,
sure,
which is what I'm part of. And we work well. We've a couple years together, and I see the future being pretty big with them. So,
okay, if you are a real estate agent, whether you're entry level, whether you've been in the business for 20, 30 years, and you're trying to figure out how you can market yourself just in general, you guys need to pick up the phone. You need to call Jeff Lobb, CEO, Spark Tank Media. Rewind and listen to the 3 amazing tips that he just gave. I mean, these are substantive detail on what you can start doing today to help grow your business. Jeff, I could not be more happy that you took the time to sit down on the Closing Experience Real Estate Talk over a cup of coffee, and you had coffee.
I did, man. I'm sucking it down. It's a long day. I'm going to drink probably another one before I leave.
I hope you do. So it's hotel coffee again. I wish I could say it's an amazing blend. It's not bad.
But at the end of the day, it's pretty good, though.
Yeah, we'll take it, right?
Yeah, I'll take it right now. It's good.
Excellent. Make sure you stay tuned to future episodes of the show. And excellent, man. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I
All right,
appreciate it.
Perfect.
Thanks.